a good feeling.
Welcome to the Global Poker League this Thursday evening. I am Laura Cornelius. We are live and interactive at a new earlier start time today. That is for one special reason, because we have one exciting game coming up for you a little earlier than usual this Thursday. We've got two other great games happening after that, all heads up from the Americas Conference. So let's take a look at those games coming up today. Match 144 is the early one, kicking off in just a few moments' time. It's the San Francisco Rush versus the LA Sunset. Jonathan Jaffe is back in action, as well as Aaron Paul for the LA Sunset. We haven't seen him since the Summer Series in Las Vegas, so we're really excited to welcome him back to the GPL this evening. Match 145 is our second match of the evening. We're going to be seeing Jason Wheeler in action from the New York Rounders versus João Bauer of the Sao Paulo Metropolitans. That one's kicking off at 10 Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern, or 7 p.m. Central European time. And the third and final match of the evening is Montreal Nationals. They are top of the conference right now. Pascal Lafrancois versus Anthony Zeno with the Las Vegas Moneymakers. They have a lot of work to do. That one is going to be at 9:30 p.m. Central European time, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So join us for all of those three heads-up matches from the Americas Conference today at the Global Poker League. It's going to be a very exciting evening, and I hope you are ready, because we are. We had an exciting day yesterday. It was Eurasian heads up, and we saw lots of points go in the way, in fact, of the Hong Kong Stars. So let's take a look at the standings from the Eurasian Conference just quickly. As you can see, Rome Emperors still at the bottom of the table in 6th place with 125 points. The Berlin Bears are there with 132 points. Dominic Nietzsche yesterday had a win, of course. The London Royals are in 4th with 134 points. They have sunk from second. Igor Kurganov was not able to win the game yesterday. He picked up 3 points though against Alex Luno of the Paris Aviators, who picked up the 6 points for their team. They're now in third with 136 points. We saw Nanonoko take a win for the Hong Kong Stars. They've had a great week, picking up 20 points after 2 first-place finishes in the Six Max, and still top of the conference are the Moscow Wolverines. They didn't win the heads-up yesterday, but Vov Choi got them 3 points, and they still remain in first place. That's the Eurasian Conference. We won't see any more action from them until Tuesday, when we will see Six Max back in action. Tonight, it's all about the Americas Conferences, of course. We've got 3 great heads-up matches coming for you. And let's take a look how the points lie in the Americas Conference right now. So the Las Vegas Moneymakers in desperate need of help. They are hugely behind. They have a lot of points to make up. We're going to see Anthony Zeno back in action. That's the third and final match of today. San Francisco Rush are in 5th place. Jonathan Jaffe is first up against Aaron Paul. That's coming up in just a few moments. He has points to win. New York Rounders have 134 points in 4th place. Jason Wheeler will be in action for them versus Joao Bauer, the Sao Paulo Mets, with 148 points currently and in 3rd place. We saw Joao Samao pick up quite a lot of points for them on Tuesday. LA Sunset then in 2nd place still, doing well with 167 points. Can Aaron Paul score them some points today? We will find out. And the Montreal Nationals, of course, flying high in 1st place still with 178 points. Pascal Lafrancois will be back for them today. Right, let's take a look now at the top scorers so far in the Global Poker League and see where those points lie. So Olivier Bousquet, Anatoly Filatov and Fedor Holz all with 56 points, though Bousquet has played one less game than Anatoly and Fedor. Randy Liu, we have seen this week, just yesterday, in fact, he made 6 points. He stays in 4th place for the Hong Kong Stars. Scott Ball's there with 44 points. He won't be able to improve upon that because Zeno is playing today, not him. And Mike Lear is there in 6th place with 42 points. We may be seeing him back in action next week. So those are the top scorers. And if you want to keep up to date with the Global Poker League, then you need to download our app. It's available on iOS and, of course, on Android. You can keep up to date with all of the latest news, what's going on with your favorite teams, managers, and all 72 players. You can also buy merchandise from our fan shop. Get your t-shirts, hoodies, and caps of your favorite team. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. So let's take a breath. There is a very, very exciting match coming your way in just a matter of moments. We have, of course, our commentary team of Roland in the booth B and Steven van Zedelhoff. They are ready to take you into this very first and exciting match between LA Sunset's Aaron Paul and San Francisco Rush's Jonathan Jaffe.
Thanks, Laura. We are cooking up a treat for the fans on the GPL tonight. I've got my spoon.
Fireworks.
Like a bit of cooking in the booth. I've got my spoon and I've got Steven van Zedelhoff for the 3rd night running. Time flies when you're having fun, Steven. Feels like only yesterday you walked in the doors.
Came in all fresh and innocent.
Fresh and innocent.
And now I'm all experienced and
corrupted
relaxed.
and experienced and possibly scarred for life.
Yeah, that probably. No, we're going to have fun today again.
Yeah.
I expect, again, like yesterday, fireworks. This is part of Heads Up Poker action. 2 people. There's nowhere you can go. Look, there's a lot of action. Every hand is played almost.
On the GPL, Stephen, we have superstars, we have poker superstars, and we have real life superstars. And Aaron Paul is falls into the latter category, I might say.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't watched too much television last couple of years, but this guy is famous, right?
A treble Emmy award winner. He's the only actor to win the Emmy for Best Supporting Actor 3 times.
This guy has more Emmys than I am.
Indeed, for his role as Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad. You probably didn't get my spoon reference, but
I saw your note. I think. I think it's about cooking something, right?
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. Maybe one day, once you retire, once you stop making millions on the online poker world, you might find yourself with some time, and you can catch up on a bit of on a bit of Netflix.
I actually wouldn't mind watching more television. It's just that I really don't want to lose the time because I really want to focus on poker.
Yeah, so, profitable poker players probably don't watch less TV than losing poker players.
They might. On average, they might, yeah.
Anyway, so, into the lion's den for Aaron Paul. It's worth saying Aaron Paul is no, mug when it comes to poker. The only player in the GPL with a 100% winning record. Played won one for Aaron Paul. Took down...
Boom! That's very good.
Took down Fabrice Soulier in our opening match of the Cube.
That was in the Cube, yeah.
Yeah, he's obviously not, he's not going to be the same kind of high-level strategic thinker that, say, for example,
he might be.
Jonathan Jaffe. I mean, would you want to play Jonathan Jaffe for your second match on the
He
GPL?
is one of the guys in the GPL that I can actually learn a lot from, especially heads up. I mean, we all have our own expertise probably within poker, but this is definitely one thing that he is probably a lot better in than I am. So, again, I'm...
Here we see Aaron Paul going up against Fabrice. A lot of interesting hands between these two, and I think what's fun about seeing a player like Aaron, who probably not one of these professional players, is we see a lot of unusual plays that we wouldn't see between two guys. You know, for example, we saw Jonathan Jaffe last week going up against Jake Cody. You know, both taking lines that, you know,
that's like serious
you expect,
poker.
yeah, serious lines, and you know, I think we can expect to see, you know, a few plots that will play out differently to how a lot of people have seen plots playing so far on the GPL.
That's
so
a
really
good
interesting
task for me to try to see what's going on in Aaron's mind. I'm going to try to, with all my poker knowledge, I'm going to try to understand why he takes decisions the way he does. But like you say, he's not like a super random amateur. He has played a lot of poker. So
I think it'll also be interesting to see how Jonathan Jaffe reacts. Obviously, we know Jonathan Jaffe is one of the best heads-up players in the world, but he's obviously used to playing against fellow professionals, players, you know, who are on his level. So really going to be interesting to see how he sort of feels out Aaron Paul. He's see Jonathan Jaffe's results: 2.3 million in cashes, 5 wins. I think his best result was a runner-up in a WPT. Fox was, I think, back in 2009, won by former GPL commentator Jonathan Little. But yeah, Jonathan Jaffe, actually, I asked Jonathan Little who he thought who he'd least like to play heads up, you know, for a big prize, and he said
in a GPL match, or
I think I asked him who his top 5
in a WPT
toughest opponents heads up, and I think he put Jonathan Jaffe up there at number 1. Jonathan Jaffe been really fun to watch on the GPL. He's obviously
I've played a bit with him this summer in Vegas, but I don't remember if it was like in a bracelet event or a satellite, whatever. But I was in position, I remember, and that's a huge advantage.
Yeah, you want to be in
these kind of matchups.
Like
then he can do too much damage against me, but in position he would probably kill me. Like, hey, one day we'll find out.
Yeah,
I might end up heads up with him for a bracelet or whatever, and maybe one day I can take him.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of how the standings stack up, a tiny bit of pressure, you know, off the shoulders of Aaron Paul, just because LA Sunset are in a nice, fairly comfortable position in the table. I mean, they don't want to rest on their laurels, but they're up there in second place on 165 points. Or 167 points, tucked in behind the sort of runaway league leaders, the Montreal Nationals. So it'll be nice for Aaron just to go out there and kind of have a good time, you know, pit his wits against a player of Jonathan Jaffe's caliber.
If he gets 9 points, he's going to be really close to the Montreal Nationals. If they score no points, that would be really cool for him to do.
That
would fire his love for poker.
If we're getting the broom out for Aaron Paul tonight, you're going to see a lot of smiles around the studio, I think.
But Jonathan Jaffe,
I mean,
he's got to fight to not let that happen.
Has his work out tonight.
Yeah.
But just a quick word on Aaron Paul's experience. I mean, this the first time we saw him in the GPL was in the queue, and he made some really, I mean, tough plays against Fabrice. Got away from a few hands where you know, a lot of people watching thought he was going to go broke. Folded kings in a hand where Fabrice had a full house. Not even like an obvious full house either. So he can certainly you know, make plays where players, you know, he can get away from hands where people will expect him to go broke. He'll take some unconventional lines. Probably bluff at a few pots where other players wouldn't.
But like we said, he doesn't necessarily have to be like an actor that cannot play poker. I have heard through the grapevines, I think is how they say it around here, that he actually played quite a bit of online poker. Actually, I might have played with him back in the day.
Yeah,
without knowing.
He was pretty active in the sort of a higher stakes sit and go world on full tilt. I mean, we don't have his screen name, but I mean, if he's playing at the larger stakes,
cool.
on full tilt,
I'm super curious.
Really good players.
I'm super curious to see how he's going to do.
Guys.
That's cool, there he is. And he has the button straight away. There you go. And a playable hand. Curious to see what strategy he's gonna choose in terms of bet sizes and 3 bet sizes especially. The 9-6 was for Jonathan. I thought that was Aaron. Okay, Aaron gets a playable hand as well. 10 deuce. He has a picture with sunglasses, so he looks like really anonymously. He starts off with a limp. That's interesting to see, because he has a hand that doesn't flop too well. Jonathan has the lighting in his room very well under control.
Yeah, I mean, one of the few players on the GPL to understand, lighting configurations.
Let's see how much.
I say one thing before I shut my beak, which is Today is for Gale.
He's gonna
You know what you did.
credit this game to someone. I don't know.
That's
But he says he's gonna shut his beak, and you really don't have to, Jonathan.
That's the kid's toy. Sorry, viewers.
That's a Breaking Bad reference.
We want to hear what he thinks as well. I would love to hear his thoughts. Like I say, I never watched television, so I have no clue what anybody will reference in terms of Breaking Bad jokes.
And in terms of what you'd expect to see from Aaron Poole, probably a player who's played more full ring, probably going to be a little bit tight on the tighter side for a player not with huge.
Yeah, sit and goes he might have played like 6-max sit and goes, stuff like that. So, but probably not a lot of heads up experience. So. Smallish 3-bet here from Jonathan, probably because he is not really afraid post flop for Aaron. Like we saw yesterday, Dominic making really big 3-bets with very good reason to not end up in weird pots out of position against a very good player.
Aaron likes to raise his coming
up and down, baby.
Firing, yo.
I almost have a straight here. Let's raise it up, baby.
I'm hearing that we may not be getting Aaron Poole on Skype on the webcam. He is playing on set from the Amazon blockbuster The Path, or The Path, as our American viewers might call it.
This was kind of a bad turn for our Aaron here, because Jonathan had blockers for the straight that Aaron had, but he still gets his straight. Jonathan himself, and he's gonna make some money if Aaron decides to bluff with his jack.
Oh.
That's, I think, the way to put it.
Snapped off there by Jonathan Jaffe.
Yeah. That
pretty.
That can't have been
Fun,
a
Didn't
value
expect
bet.
that.
Yeah, Jonathan didn't expect it either. But Aaron can win it all back with 3 deuce. So he makes a good fold here. That's probably a bit too thin against Jonathan to defend.
Well, plenty of heart there from Aaron Poole in that hand. Certainly not afraid to.
He might have been hoping that Jonathan would fold a queen, which is not unreasonable with his straight on the board. This looks like a limp with a hand that really, really, really loves to see a flop. So, I mean, even this deep, that's not weird at all. And they don't exactly get the flop they want, but we have some backdoors. Blue cards, we say. You play with a 4-color deck.
No, I'm not that partial to the 4-color deck. I feel like it solves a problem that doesn't exist. I'm pretty capable of identifying spades.
Yeah,
but there's no. I mean, which of those look?
I was in that team
similar?
for like years and years, and I switched only like 2 years ago or something. I mean, it is a bit easier to identify. So yeah, why wouldn't you? But I had your argument for like 5, 6, 7 years.
I mean, I've always been pretty adept at.
Yeah, you never made like big mistakes.
There's only 4. There's only 4 suits.
No, it's doable. I agree. This is kind of a funny lead, I would say. Definitely not weird. I mean, if you check and you start calling, I mean, you don't know where you're gonna end up. So yeah, might just as well try to take the pot. And if you get called, you can improve a bit. So
Aaron Poole with the Anthony Zinno Memorial hand.
The double suited King Jack.
Yeah, the King Jack double suited. Jonathan's going to 3-bet.
King 9 suited is remarkable that Jonathan 3-bets. Definitely not an unplayable hand, but against world-class opponents, he might decide to play this hand a bit slower because it flops really well. And normally when you 3-bet, you end up against a lot of hands that dominate you as well, so like King Queen and stuff like that. But Jonathan knows this better than anyone probably, so he might actually mix it up against very good opponents as well. I would probably not do that against him, but that has a good reason.
You should see whether Aaron elects to value bet here, or whether he just takes his.
I think he will.
Takes his hand to showdown. Yeah. Oh, it's gone to the 10th pot.
We've seen some
bet.
induced bets yesterday in very interesting matches. He might have been inducing here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Aaron
would he snapped off?
Watched Alexander Leno execute the little
perfectly executed
induce
3-bet. Yeah. He might have snapped it off here if Jonathan would have decided to raise.
Definitely like the pace of this match. Jake Cody and I last week played like half as many hands in this time.
This hand could spell danger for Aaron Paul.
Wouldn't be surprised if he starts limp re-raising at one point because he feels that Jonathan is raising his limps quite a bit.
This could be a spot where Aaron could. I mean, we saw him play the draw in hand 2 pretty strongly.
Yes,
so it looks like
correct.
he could be electing to raise his strong draws.
And why not?
And why not? I mean, okay.
I mean, he has ace high here, so he has a bit of showdown value. He probably feels that it might be good on the river every now and then if it's checked down. Or you can bluff the turn, Aaron.
I think Jonathan may kind of perceive Aaron to be a little bit tighter, so he can probably get away with a few. I mean, you know, you could sometimes get Jonathan off hands like ace high in the spot if if he elected to bet.
Fortunate run out for me.
Yeah, he could have definitely got Jonathan to fold over a couple streets, like if he would have put in multiple bets. That is a good flop for Jonathan.
It is indeed.
300, 600, and in less than a minute, we're going up to 4-8. This is an unconventional lead, I would say. Jonathan does really act fast. Like he already said himself, he likes the pace. He likes to play a lot of hands. Exactly this game, he played a lot, so he knows exactly what he wants to do with most of his decisions. So he just wants to play really fast so he can get like more hands in, make more money.
Aces for Aaron.
Jack 8
for
Jonathan.
Aaron.
Boom, there's the 8. This hand is going to continue to the turn, probably. Unless Aaron decides to shove it all in.
Pretty safe turn card for Aaron to continue. Interesting lead from Jonathan. Probably trying to keep the pot. Probably trying to control the pot size.
Might not succeed in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Aaron sees this small lead as relatively weak, I think. So he feels strong with his aces. Not the best card for action, but Aaron has the ace of spades, so he might not be super afraid of a flush. I think he will bet again, yeah.
Yeah.
Aces look so strong.
Yeah, I kind of really like how Aaron's played this hand. I really like the turn raise.
Actual very, very nasty decision for Jonathan. Might decide to fold against Aaron.
Yeah,
like you say, he sees Aaron probably as not super aggressive. Well, he did make like an aggressive raise with his draw earlier, but besides that, he doesn't seem like super spewy. But that may come. Maybe when the filming starts again, like when it's getting closer, he's just like... No, he's going to be fully focused on this game. We all know that.
It gets called to a scene and the chips start flying.
No, we all know this is his #1 priority at the moment. He will tell the other guys to stop filming and wait till he's finished with this poker game, right?
Interesting to see how Jonathan Jaffe's webcam audience grows. Last week we started just with Jonathan, and by the end of the game there was a dog, a cat, a child.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a wife.
Where is he playing from?
I'm not quite sure. I think he lives. I'm told he lives in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, perhaps. So
okay.
I stand to be corrected.
Yeah. Well, San Francisco Rush.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a stupid question from me, right? I mean, yeah. No, I always find it interesting to see where everybody's hanging out. A lot of poker players are always traveling.
I think he lives down there.
There
in Florida.
you go. The audience is growing.
He cashed at Coconut Creek down in Florida, Seminole Coconut Creek a couple of weeks ago. No, not a week ago.
Yeah, so that might be a hint to whereabouts he is. We have some half outs for Jonathan here, and that might be enough to start stabbing at this pot because he doesn't have a lot of showdown value. And a small bet might be enough. I actually have to pay attention because I really can learn a lot from his bet sizing. So yeah, I'm gonna try to see what he does here, what tricks he uses. Queen Jack might be a raise for Jonathan. Strong enough to see how well Aaron reacts after his limps. I predicted like a limp re-raise earlier at one point from Aaron when he was getting tired of Jonathan's raises after he limps, but I don't know if we will see it. I don't know if he's aggressive enough for that. 10 for suited. When you're playing like people equally skilled, that's kind of a defend. But Aaron decides that he doesn't want to look it up like too much. He doesn't want to go too thin, which makes a lot of sense if you know you're playing one of the best heads-up players of the world. There's your audience from Jonathan.
Oh, it's gonna grow, right? I mean, once one gets involved.
Well, you promised me a dog now, right?
I mean,
now I want to see a dog.
It'll grow. Like once the kid gets there, then the dog wants in.
Oh yeah,
the cat like gets jealous, and then like the wife comes in. Like it just goes.
At the end, the dog is probably playing and crushing Aaron. 5 high for Aaron. If he wants to win this pot, he'll have to put in some chips.
Oh, and it would have worked.
Yeah, it might have worked. Yeah. I mean, 2 pair is 2 pair, but this is not a very good 2 pair.
Jonathan Jaffe's heads-up record on the GPL: 3 wins and 3 losses. Lost his first 2. Lost to Thiago Nishihima. Got swept by Bryn Kenny in week 6, and he.
These are the kind of flops Aaron bets out a lot. So it seems like in the early going.
Snap call from Aaron.
And from what I watched against Fabrice, tends to lead with a wide variety: second pair, top pair, draws. Has a little bit of complete air, but taking his leads to be a little something usually.
That's not air anymore.
Aaron Paul, Rivers a pair.
Pretty tough run out to call any kind of bet here.
Yeah, this card.
All I'm really beating is a dry 9 or 7. Everything else really connected in some sort of meaningful way. So I actually think this is a pretty straightforward fold.
Yeah.
As we hoped, some strong analysis from Jonathan here.
I hope Aaron Paul's people don't pull him off, because I just call him Aaron Pair.
This guy doesn't know who you are.
Yeah.
Stop playing.
Yeah, you're out. You're out, Aaron.
No, I think Aaron really likes the game as well. He just loves to play poker.
Playing this quick, he must have some online poker experience.
Yeah. We told Aaron Paul has...
guys just don't adjust this quickly.
Yeah, I heard he even played the World Series a couple times.
I think he's played the main event twice. I don't think he played it this year, but he played it in 2015. And, he wasn't sponsored, or he wasn't, looking to improve his, his profile. He went in there. I think he had a hood, just with a hood up. Just wanted to play the game.
Where I got to fold here. It's pretty rare. I'm going to fold the Queen of Diamonds on an Ace King Diamond, another Broadway card, but it's a big C bet.
Yeah, no, I think he really loves the game, and hopefully we can hear him talk about that at one point in history, maybe even in a winner interview.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Check 9, defendable. We're playing at the 1,000 big blind level, so effectively we have like 35 big blinds now for Aaron Paul. Well, effectively for both.
Left flop and an Aaron lead. Just going to call here with most of my range, including this hand.
Uh-oh. We're in trouble.
There may be trouble ahead.
Let's see how Aaron might be able to escape.
Pretty below average turn, especially when we see a big bet like that, and he hasn't leveled many of those. Put the call out.
Bit of danger for...
that's luckily for Aaron, not a blank. On the deuce of hearts, he would have had a problem and might have lost all his chips. Now he has potential to escape.
Okay.
Pretty awful.
I'll take that back.
He
has potential to bluff Jonathan Jaffe, one of the best heads-up players of the world.
I don't see many one pairs betting the turn as big as he did without a club. Aside from that, it's some sort of dry queen without a club, which would be a pretty ballsy double lead. I'm just going to go ahead and believe him here.
Boom! There we go.
That's how we do it, bitch.
We turn our 2-pair into a bluff, and we bluff Jonathan Jaffe, one of the best heads-up players of the world, out of his better 2-pair. Great play from Aaron here.
Nice play.
Boom. That's how we play poker in, where is he? LA probably, right? Hollywood.
Filming the pub somewhere.
if he does any more, I probably won't be folding king 7.
Yeah, cool to see how Jonathan has to adapt to his
I kind of,
unorthodox
I
plays.
mean, as an amateur, I can kind of understand that kind of hand. Like you get to the river, you really don't want to be bluffed. You know, the four clubs come. And you think if you check, he's definitely going to bluff you. So you just stick the money in first, and you know, hope for the best.
Get it over with. You just don't want that very difficult decision. So yeah. And he did it very correctly. He put the very difficult decision in the arms of Jonathan.
Now, I can really sort of identify with how he played that river just as a player who, you know, when you know you're up against a professional player, you know that they're, you know, have the capability to bluff you if you check to them on the river on a really dangerous board, and you just stick your money in first.
No, it kind of makes sense from that perspective for sure. And yeah, a really difficult spot for Jonathan. Definitely not weird that he folded there.
Tell me that hand before the 4-club run out. Said I'm not really sure.
Yeah, Jonathan's going to get the the bad news pretty soon. We're on a roughly a 10-minute delay, but you'll see soon enough when Jonathan's.
Does he have the stream open? You think?
I think he will now.
Yeah.
If he didn't already.
Even only for this hand, he will open it probably now because he's really curious. I mean, we're all poker players, but yeah, we don't care for the short term, blah blah blah. But we're still curious sometimes.
I mean, I think it's kind of useful to know moving forward whether Aaron's likely to, whether he has the capability to make these huge river shoves.
For sure, you want to know what he's doing. Like these showdowns can give you info for how he's thinking. So.
Bit of danger here for Aaron Paul. We're back to almost even stacks here. Whoever wins this pot will take the chip lead. As usual, guys, follow the GPL on Twitter. Use the hashtag GPL if you want to comment along.
Another lead from Aaron. And Jonathan had already identified in his earlier match that Aaron does this with a wide variety of hands. Top pairs, second pairs, but also draws. So it's quite hard to play against. Does he feel comfortable enough with his 7 to check? Probably not. So he might just shove it in again. Wouldn't have surprised me here. It's again very dangerous, but it would have worked.
Aaron is actually playing from New York City, where he's filming The Path.
Bit of a better time zone to have gotten some sleep, I would say.
Yeah.
In my neighbor's house, they were drilling again, so I woke up at the very, very absurdly early time of 11 a.m.
God, how? I mean,
it's pretty crazy.
And you're still alive?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's rough, Stephen.
I did get some sleep. So.
I mean, I really sympathise.
No, I'll be good. Cup of coffee.
I mean, you want the rest of the evening off after this game? I'm sure
probably.
We could.
I can get some.
I'm sure we could find a stand-in for you. Like.
This is definitely a spot that Aaron could decide to bluff, like as a lead or a check raise. Like he has so much equity, but he knows 9 high is not going to be good very often. So he gets what he wants to get. Interesting. He might size big and hope for a call from an ace or a 10.
There we go.
He does even better than I had hoped for. The problem is he goes so big that Jonathan knows that he probably always has a good hand. So, yeah. Well, still Jonathan might have called some other hands, like a 10 with a club.
I'm really enjoying how Aaron Paul's playing this.
He's going for it.
Yeah, he's going for it. He's not scared. But he's also, making good decisions as well.
Yeah, definitely.
He's not getting run over.
No, he's definitely playing unconventional to what we're used of from most of the regulars, but he's definitely not doing bad. He's putting Jonathan in some really difficult spots here.
Flopped pretty well here.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Certainly some interesting turn cards that could arise.
Fire it up. Fireworks we said we were ready for.
And there it is. This could be.
This is a killer card for Jonathan.
I mean, someone needs to start building this pot now.
I think they will.
Okay.
Actually, Jonathan has no reason to raise. So.
And there's the. I mean,
Aaron is probably going for a very big bet here.
Yeah,
Again.
and I mean, Jonathan could conceivably pay off a small river bet. I mean, unlikely.
Okay, Aaron decides to go for the call.
Oh,
from
and he does.
a
He
bit
does pay
lesser
off.
hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't expect Jonathan to.
He called very fast this
Yeah.
time as well. Well, I mean, Aaron has.
No, I was drawing dead on that turn.
Aaron has made a lot of bets and aggressive moves, so at one point Jonathan wants to know what he's doing. On the other hand, he can see it on the stream after the delay, so... Yeah, full house. Didn't see that one coming.
And Jonathan's about to see the the news.
Yeah. Funny.
About the hand he got shoved on the river.
Let's see his face.
That hand is currently playing out on Twitch. We are on roughly a 10-minute delay. Hasn't reacted yet.
No, that probably means he doesn't have the stream open. Or is he watching it now? He might be. He's watching something. Yeah, Big Brother is watching you when you're playing in the GPL. We have our eyes on your eyes. Smallish bet. And it works. Can't blame Aaron. I mean, you have a 5, but that's pretty much
Definitely
everything.
a fun match. He's reading such a high frequency that you get some really different hands, really different lines.
Interesting isolation from Jonathan. Feels pretty comfortable against Aaron post-flop, so he can isolate with a pretty wide range. Everything that's relatively connected or suited is probably good enough for him to attack. If I'm not mistaken, this was a limp from Jonathan and a min raise from Aaron out position.
Yeah.
With Queen 6.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one as well.
I did slightly miss
Aaron is just getting more comfortable as well, and he thinks, I'm going to punish these limps.
He's like raising out the big blind,
Who?
the Queen 6 off,
Well, I don't
c-betting the
think-
10-9 deuce.
I don't think it's weird at all. The Queen 6 is not the best hand to pump in a lot of money out of position, but yeah, I can see why he also wants to raise when Jonathan limps. So yeah, he might go a bit bigger, and he might choose some more suited or connected hands for it, but we'll get there.
We will.
No, I love how he's playing so far. Nice and aggressive with his unconventional leads. Just punish Jonathan for thinking in only conventional ways.
Yeah.
Force him to be creative.
Getting things started with the 5-3 off. Certainly come to play.
This is the last hand on this level, and then we're going to 1-2, so we can really expect some fireworks there. This is a decent flop, but probably not one that Jonathan is going to get a lot of money in passively. And he's probably not going to bluff it a lot either. So what are you going to do with that spoon? We're going to cook some meth, that's what you said, right? Yeah.
No, I said we were cooking up a storm for our viewers.
Okay,
It was
okay.
purely a metaphor, Stephen. I mean,
Cooking up
we
fireworks.
do not condone anything of that nature on the GPL. We are trying to sportify the game of poker. No,
You're completely right, my bad.
No, it was just a little prop. I was going to use it to, stir my cereal on our first break of the evening.
Can you tell us a little less about that?
Apologies. I mean, you asked me.
No, you're right. Jack Deuce is gonna probably not win. He has a gut shot.
Pot's
And
got pretty big.
yeah, and he bets pretty small, so I think Aaron is not gonna give up yet. Ooh.
Wow, I mean,
Jonathan
we
checks
have-
here.
Got a pot of 37,000. Need a player with anything close to a pair.
I don't think Aaron is gonna give up this pot. I think he feels lucky.
Go on.
And he's gonna rip it in.
Go on.
And I can't
do
blame
it.
him. I can't blame him actually. There you go,
Gone
perfect.
for the tiny. Oh, not tiny.
I
Third
mean,
pot. Third
yeah,
pot
I mean
bet.
Jonathan is gonna call an ace every now and then as well. So if he has less, he is gonna have a really hard time. But Jonathan Jaffe actually is one of the people that might make a jack high call here. He is literally thinking about it, or Might even be thinking about bluffing it. That
another-
would have been
another great river bluff by
That would've been great.
Aaron Paul.
Playing
Showing
it
he's
aggressively.
come to fight on the Global Poker League.
Funny to see the combination between his limps and some passive stuff that he does, and then the aggressive stuff that he does. Like not only having a very wide leading range, but also on rivers, he's not afraid to put in money. So that's fun to see. Well, it's less fun for Jonathan so far.
Jonathan's down to 15 big blinds, so really in the driving seat is Aaron Paul. Certainly not come to make up the numbers.
LA Sunset looking to do good business here. And they're already in second place, so...
Yeah, I mean, there were a few questions asked when LA Sunset drafted him as their wild card, but GPL is it's about building a brand, building a franchise.
Of course,
yes. So poker skill obviously comes into it, but
they're doing really well, and I think they already have a lot of poker skill on board. So
yeah, I mean, maybe there's so much skill that it was time to put in someone who will increase the profile of the franchise.
Pretty shut down turn card for me here.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything you don't want to see. A 5, a flush draw, an ace, everything has something now, so hard to come up with hands that actually will fold if he keeps barreling. Some diamond floats would have to give up now, but yeah. And down to 11
big
12-ish big blinds for Jonathan. Well, the good thing is he knows how to play that stack too, so. And Jonathan's team does
and
need
this is
the
going to be all in and a call. And Jonathan Jaffe on the verge of going 1-0 down to Aaron Paul. And that's a great flop for Aaron Paul.
Jonathan
non-club queen or a 3 needed. Live cards. That's not one of them. Queen or a 3. There it is.
Boom. Aaron Paul ships
Aaron
it.
Paul takes the first game.
This was not an easy match for Jonathan. He is really
looking
put to the test.
That's how we do it, yo.
Boom.
Boom.
Very nice.
1-0
Aaron, congratulations.
to Aaron Paul, the LA Sunset.
Can we get the sweep, the broom out already?
I mean, game 2, perhaps. I mean, things could be getting sweepy around
it's poker. It can still go always. So,
I mean, we saw yesterday my boy Timothy Adams 1-0 against Dominic Nietzsche. Anyway, really nice performance from Aaron Paul. We weren't quite sure what to expect. We did see him take down Fabrice Soulier in the cube, but I mean, really just showing some game there.
He's aggressive.
2 big river bluffs.
Very good to see.
2 big river bluffs.
Yep.
Yeah, not afraid to, he's leading a lot of flops.
Fireworks.
He's, raising out the big blind. A lot of things like you don't expect amateurs to
No, the Queen 3, the Queen 3 I didn't like too much, like putting in a lot of money against the best player, one of the best players of the world, without any folding equity, because if you min raise like a hand, a reggy queen like that, that's not very very dangerous.
Yeah.
But a lot of things I did like. So yeah.
Yeah, no, really fun to see Aaron Paul. He goes 1-0 up now. He is, of course, the only unbeaten player in the Global Poker League.
Good chance now.
We'll be getting to that.
He will stay the only unbeaten player.
Well, indeed. Going to that second game soon. Now, just a reminder, this is week 11 of the GPL. 3 more weeks of online action before we head off to the Cube for the playoffs, where the top 4 teams in each conference will be battling out for that $100,000 first prize. So all to play for now as we head into these final weeks. Later in, might be seeing a little sort of graphic of how that playoffs is going to play out. So as you see, the 4 teams from each conference will be playing it out against each other. Now, the quirk of the playoffs is the chip bonus for finishing position. And as you see our example graphic here, the Montreal Nationals, should they come first, which is looking probable, will be getting a 30% starting stack bonus. So the first place team will be starting with 130k, and they'll play against the 4th place team in a sort of conventional playoff structure. No bonus for the 4th seed. 2nd and 3rd will be getting a 20% and 10% bonus respectively. This is obviously to give teams who've done well during the regular season an advantage.
Yeah, and, it wouldn't be fair if the lead was taken away completely.
Structure?
Yeah, it wouldn't be fair if the lead was taken away completely, of course. But if you leave it in place, like all the points, then it might be done already. Like then there's too big of a lead. So this is like perfect. I feel like you get like a head start because you've done well, but you have to do it again. You have to keep winning again.
And also, this is a long season, and we're what are we on match 144 of the GPL. So by the time we get over to Vegas, there will be 100, almost 100. Probably 180 matches played, and we really want to reward the teams who've performed best, and just give them that that we don't want to give them a huge kind of advantage, but just give them that small advantage to reflect their kind of superiority over the season. Now we're going to get to the game now because Aaron Paul and Jonathan Jaffe ready to play game 2.
All right, game 2.
Jonathan Beck, probably very eager
Last
for his
chance
revanche.
for a win.
Last chance to win the complete match, yes. You have to take down this game, Jonathan. Good luck with that. Your team does need the chips, the points in the league, because the New York Rounders are 5 points ahead of them. And they can pick up points today as well if Jason Wheeler in the next match does well. So then the San Francisco Rush will be in 5th place, a bit more solid, and that's not where you want to be with the end of the playoffs coming.
Indeed.
The playoffs coming closer.
Indeed.
So yeah, he will probably be eager to follow his team chef, Faraz Jaka, in taking points this week. Queen 6. Jonathan's probably happy now that stacks are a bit deeper again, I would say. He feels probably a lot more comfortable that he can prevent big bets from going in without having a good feeling for where he stands. And that's exactly what Aaron has been doing very well, like giving Jonathan a hard time knowing where he's at by making very unconventional big bets. That's what we like to see.
Just a quick word regarding Aaron Paul. The reason we haven't got him on webcam, we did try and get him on webcam. He wanted to be on webcam, but he is on a film set the set of his new show, his Amazon show, The Path, and he couldn't get the required connection to join us on webcam. But we're going to do our best next time to get him on there.
Second pair, Aaron decides to put in money. He doesn't care that there's a card on the board that's higher. And at this specific river, he probably cares even less because he knows there's only 4 9s in the deck. Not weird at all that he value bets this. Might not work unless Jonathan decides to bluff him. But yeah, Jonathan still has to make the call. So
Jonathan's yet to go for anything, bluffy or wild. No,
there you are.
I feel like
I think this hand looks very strong for Aaron. I
wasn't really trying to move him off the hand there. I was hoping it was more like Queen 10, taking 3 stabs.
And again, this is how it's difficult for Jonathan to read Aaron Paul, because he is really not playing as we are used to. And this hand is also in his range, apparently. Jack's very strong hand. Jonathan doesn't mind isolating out of position, we've seen. And he gets an unlucky flop.
That's, really
one of
rough,
the worst
run of
flops.
events
One of the worst flops you can get, yeah. Probably even worse than ace-high flops like ace-queen or ace-king, because a lot of those hands are raised on the button. So yeah, this is one that is really bad. Still, jacks is too good to fold to 1-bet. And even this small bet might be paid off.
Beat much here. I don't think he would make that bet with a 6. It's my only worry, really, is that he's value betting super light below my jacks.
He might.
Aside from that, most of his bluffs are clubs, jack 10, things that I block a little bit or a lot. It's tough here, but I think I'm going to let it go. I don't like letting it go at this price, though.
He's made it very, very cheap.
Very nice.
Very nice lay down by Jonathan Jaffe.
It's very hard to fault for this price against somebody who puts in some aggression with, like he says, hard to read hand. So very, very strong call, fold there, I think.
Oh, and the
again, unconventional raise sizing out of position. It does work in getting the initiative with a hand that just likes to see a flop anyway. So, And if he puts in a big raise and he gets called, it's not like he's going to be far ahead. So it's actually, I can see some merit in it. And here, he actually has a pair. But Jonathan is not done with this hand, I can predict. I'm kind of psychic
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes.
but if this river breaks off for Jonathan, it's really kind of crappy start to this second game where he really wanted to come out firing, and he does miss. And this is certainly not a card that will worry Aaron Paul too much.
He will probably just go for the medium size value bet, yeah.
Not the run out we wanted to see here.
Nope. Aaron taking the lead, he's probably just going to win this
And
hand.
he shove is a bluff.
Do it, Jonathan. We're here for fireworks. Just do it. Go for
I
it.
don't love it. Definitely don't love it.
It will work sometimes.
Not this time.
I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure about it. We've seen Aaron Paul
Okay.
fold kings or whatever. He might. This is actually a hand. The board looks relatively dangerous, like with a straight and a 4. Jonathan might have, so it might work sometimes. But I mean, it's tough, you know. Jonathan would prefer to grind Aaron down, like with not too much variance. This was a 4x for a big blind.
Flop.
Raise pre-flop. Things not going Jonathan's way so far.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Paul, as well as making a few good hands in this match, he's been finding ways to win pots without the best hand, you know, on numerous occasions.
Fire
And
a lot.
I feel like he might find a way to win this one if he bets.
Oh, it would definitely not surprise me.
Wow.
Definitely not a board Jonathan is hoping for. I mean, it's hard if you call a 4x raise. Like, if you hit your raise, your opponent has a better raise very often because that's why he raises 4x. That's what people do. They raise 4x because they love their hand. They have like a strong hand. Or because they have ace-3 and they just hope that you fold a bit more than average.
Aaron Paul flopping best again.
Yeah, Aaron definitely has like a high c-bet strategy. When he has something, he likes to bet. Which also means that he will be relatively weak on later streets if he doesn't bet. But the question is Jonathan going to be given enough time to profit from that fact? That would mean he has to start winning some pots. Otherwise, it's going to be a donut to 2.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and then the broom will be sort of, you know,
We'll have
removed
from
the broom cupboard and ready to sweep that desk.
Swept by Aaron Paul. Wouldn't be the first time.
It would not.
You need to flop some equity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan getting... His face still looks quite neutral, but he's probably getting a bit frustrated here. You really want to win some pots every now and then.
Jonathan
This
could
might
elect
be it.
to shove here.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, but Aaron has limped quite a bit as well, so he probably prefers to keep his post-flop skills
I
intact.
guess an interesting turn card.
Yeah,
Gives
yeah.
Jonathan the best hand. Aaron still got more than enough to get excited about this pot. Plenty of well, he's 30% going to this river.
He probably still feels like a favorite.
5, no.
Now we can only hope for him that he will decide to check, which he probably will. Not a lot of reason to bet. Jonathan finally taking down a nice pot.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I feel like we're going to see a 3-bet here when... okay, the
Oh,
tiny 3-bet.
This is dangerous for Jonathan because he might actually... He has a really, really not so nice hand to call a 3-bet, but for this sizing you have to. So,
I mean, this is part of what's great about getting a non-professional player on the GPL. You just see really unconventional lines.
Yeah,
And,
well, you
and
see him do it with ace-8 and then he has aces.
Oh, and Jonathan's going to go for the...
Not going to work, Jonathan.
Go for the raise.
Aaron Paul will probably feel he has the nuts. Although he doesn't really, but it will probably feel that way.
I'd love to see a call here from Aaron.
I would love to see a fold. No. He's
I
not
think
going to do
a
that.
fold might be a little bit tight. Okay, he makes the call. Oh, and this is going to be the end of this second game.
A dagger in his heart.
Dagger to the heart of Jonathan, and the check by Aaron Paul, masterful.
Wow.
And here comes
Snap
the
it
call,
off.
and
Wow,
Jonathan's
wow,
going to
wow.
need a king or a deuce.
Oh! That's poker, ladies and gentlemen.
Jonathan
I was
Jaffe
a
gets out
believer
of
after
jail.
the tank called my
He
flop.
was a believer.
75% pot left and
Jonathan
pretty infallible top pair.
fighting to get that donut out of the
Well
way.
confident.
R.I.P.
Queen's Jack, something like that.
I would love to see Aaron's face now.
Yeah.
Jonathan can't help having a funny grin on his face. How can you see aces there? Oh.
R.I.P. a few people's ears there. Apologies to anyone who is on their way to the hospital for ear treatment.
damage.
Yeah. We live for these moments as commentators, don't we?
Fireworks.
We love
that
the
was
fireworks. That
Aaron
was
Paul, he was doing so
5th of
great.
November there.
He's grinding down one of the best heads-up players in the world, and then he gets like super unfortunate. That's like, yeah.
He'll pick himself back up. I mean, that will be a blow. He just had one of the
You can make
one of the world's top players all in with a barely a shout. And
You can make a television series from that, man. That's like drama.
Yeah, I mean, this is the television series, Stephen. It's the GPL season 1.
Like a soap. You can make a soap from it. Like, no. How do you call like Breaking Bad and stuff like that?
Oh, that's a drama, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Depends on how much math they actually cook, probably. Yeah. Well, we have a pair. We have 2 pair actually. See, I say we already. Like I identify with Aaron. He's on my side of the table also, and yeah.
These players are both amateurs, of course. We have the dolphin trainer against the meth lab technician. One of these is slightly more experienced, but
yeah. No, I like Jonathan. He's a very friendly guy, and of course, I hope professionally that he does very well. But also, I hope Aaron does very well, and he can take it down for the non-professionals. Jonathan stretching his neck.
he's got the best hand in this
King deuce.
Counter.
King deuce. What can you do?
Oh, no longer has the best hand.
I wouldn't have played a hand any different, but yeah, he needed to get lucky. That's what happens.
Aaron comes out firing here, as he does on
With the best hand.
a lot of flops and turns.
And he does get a call from a worse hand, actually, now.
This should slow things down as far as Aaron's concerned. And whether
I'm not sure about Aaron.
okay, just going to fire anyway.
There you go.
And
you know what? Take this. Eat this, he says. And Jonathan might decide not to eat this.
okay, he's got.
I don't know if Jonathan actually is thinking about bluffing or hero calling here. A call does seem very dangerous, so...
Okay, let it go. And I mean, after that blow with the aces, Aaron Paul's chipped back up. Grinding.
He's keeping
grinding his boy down.
He's not going anywhere.
Could see a few chips going here. 25 big blinds for Jonathan Jaffe. He's going to rip it in. And pretty close for Aaron Paul. He did against Fabrice Hillier in the cube. He didn't show a huge willingness to get involved with.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if he would
pre-flop.
No, yeah. I mean, it is already very close. Only against somebody who's really super aggressive, you have a very easy call, but he doesn't seem to be super spewy, Jonathan. He doesn't have to be. He wants to play a lot of pots post-flop, of course, so... Aaron won't get that impression easily.
Gut shot for Aaron Paul here.
Fires it out.
Firing
no
away
surprises. No surprises there. We're playing 500, 1,000, so like 25 big blinds for Jonathan.
Aaron Paul loves a lead.
And he folds.
It's like a
5-8.
professional dog walker.
We're seeing a flop here. It is with a dominating hand for Aaron Paul.
And Aaron Paul flops the best. Jonathan will probably continue here and get the bad news if previous hands are anything to...
Yeah, Aaron is not folding here. Jonathan is probably not going to do anything else in a c-bet.
Pretty small c-bet from Jonathan. Probably going to get the information he requires.
Yeah.
Okay, so looks to.
Interesting float. I don't.
I mean, and he turns the card that will, almost certainly keep him in.
He probably thinks that Aaron, at this point, will have some bluffs in his range that he can put him off, like at later streets. Yeah, this is kind of a turn that's kind of nasty for Jonathan. Picks up a pair that's not good and a flush draw that sometimes is not good, but still feels like he has to call.
And he makes the call.
He does it.
Yeah,
he really felt. He really
game.
felt Aaron was bluffing there.
Well,
I mean, sometimes.
One thing I've noticed about this game is the pace has just been boom, boom, boom. I mean, we just saw just incredible.
We like it.
Yeah, how we like to commentate. Yeah. So we've got an incredible number of hands in that game.
Yeah.
Jonathan actually commented on how fast they're going.
He wants the game to be fast, so he can play more hands and use his skill more. But when you want a fast game and you get butchered really fast by big bets, and he actually got some luck on his side.
Really fun to watch these two guys going at it. I mean, what was really impressive there was Aaron got the sucker punch to the stomach against the king deuce with the aces, and he just grinded his way back like he's like he just does, just leading, leading.
We can't see his face, but he didn't appear to be like annoyed. He was not all of a sudden going on tilt or whatever.
But nice to get his reaction to the
all in
hand with aces. But I mean, so this game. I mean, now Jonathan Jaffe, one of the kind of the biggest heads-up players in the world, one of the most respected, and he's really working hard to avoid a sweep against Aaron Paul. So
he said good game. I hope he's not running away because he thought it was like best of 3 or whatever. No, right? He knows. But he said good game.
I think we've seen Jonathan Jaffe 6 times in heads-up on the GPL.
Okay. So he's going to be back to save his honor.
He might go and take some consolation from the the kid, the cat, the dog.
Maybe he didn't have breakfast yet and he likes donuts.
Well, I mean, we could be seeing a donut on the GPL.
I think he wants a point. He wants 3 points. His team needs the points. There
are
129 points.
San Francisco Rush.
And the LA Sunset is going up now as well towards the National. So he needs to fight with the points with the New York Rounders to stay away from the 5th place.
Yeah, they're in a bit of trouble down there at the bottom of the table.
Come back.
Down there with the
save that 3 points.
Down there with the Las Vegas Moneymakers.
Yeah.
Obviously, the top 4 sides in each conference off to the playoffs, where they'll battle it out for $100,000.
In 3 days, right? It's going to be a 3-day spectacle.
It's a 3-day extravaganza, and as we were just telling you earlier, bonus points for the teams finishing first, second, and the third. 30% bonus for the top team, 20% for the second team, 10% for the third team. Final game now. Jonathan Jaffe looking to salvage something against Aaron Paul.
Crossing his fingers, Jonathan Jaffe, he's on my side now, the lucky side. So he might be able to save some points here. Some crappy hands here. Probably not going to be the biggest hand. Curious to see if Aaron will change gears now. Jonathan will change gears now. I don't think Aaron will change gears. He loves how this is going.
Well, they've changed positions, so that'll be the maybe that's the change that Jonathan Jaffe he needs something to change. And Aaron Paul's just hitting flops, and when he's missing them, Jonathan's missing them as well. And he's just he's leading out, taking these taking the small ones.
He's definitely making Jonathan's life difficult. It was kind of a big call down there that Jonathan made. Definitely understandable if you think your opponent is making a lot of random bluffs and raises. On the other hand, you want to keep pots relatively small if you think you have the post-flop edge. But Aaron did a very good job in preventing Jonathan from playing small pots. He was playing long ball, as they say, big bets and a lot of bets.
Well, Aaron gets to another river with the best hand, as we've seen a few times in this game.
$2-0. 2 donuts. No, that's not 2 donuts, right? That's 2 to a donut. Jonathan eager to save points for the San Francisco Rush.
Already got people in the Twitch chat suggesting our software is rigged because Kings beat Aces.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, because Aces never lose in any form of the game.
Of course, poker is always really fair.
Unless software is rigged for Aces to lose.
I've seen it in a live game actually once.
Oh, you saw aces lose in a live game?
That a second King of Spades came off.
Oh,
The
okay.
problem was it was my own game, so
I
that was
I
not
thought-
really funny.
I thought you were saying you once saw aces lose in a live
Never,
game. And then
never.
I'd be like, you need to play more live games, dude.
Never. Aces always win. We all know that. There we go.
Aaron gets to a river with the best hand.
Probably gonna check it. Yeah.
And I like the way Jonathan Jaffe stays pretty composed. I'd probably have thrown my laptop across the room by now.
It's not. It's not the biggest game he's lost in his life.
It is. It is.
It is. Okay. Well, probably it probably is the game in his life he lost against the most famous opponent.
He did win WPT Montreal in 2014 for 409,000.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean,
I
he told me before tonight that he this matters more to him than the WPT final table.
Of course. Eternal fame. Queen 6 can take down the pot here, or hope to win at showdown. Or use your queen blocker, flush blocker to make a bluff on the river. It's cool to see how Jonathan is always pretty much thinking about all options in the hand, and this is a very unconventional one, and one I like a lot. He probably goes for the small sizing that Aaron uses, and he probably thinks that is kind of weak, because Aaron uses big sizing, like big sizing, very often with big hands. And that's one thing non-professionals tend to do sometimes. They give away the strength of their hand with the size of their bets, and that's what Jonathan read correctly here. It's a very nice race.
I mean, it was an interesting tank. It was about a 10-second tank in that last hand from Aaron Paul. I was slightly worried he was going to make the call with the queen high.
Or get it in.
It wouldn't surprise me. Or just re-bluff.
And another 3-bet from Aaron, out of position. Not a click back, a bit bigger, and with a bit bigger hand as well.
Huge flop for Jonathan Jaffe here.
Does not get the favorable flop here.
Aaron Paul still has the best hand.
But not for long.
but he's a 37% underdog.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
that does help. He probably keeps firing here.
Oh, okay. He's gonna
yeah, he will surprise me more today. I mean, it's not weird at all that he checks.
Interesting whether he's setting up a check call or a check raise.
Ah, you're right.
Neither would surprise me.
No, exactly. He might actually check raise. I mean, I would love a call as well, but we can never be surprised here. All options are open.
Oh,
Yep.
and there it is. I mean, I had a feeling that might be.
You're getting a very good feeling for this game after a couple of days already.
I feel much more comfortable when there's one amateur at the table. A good amateur, from what we're seeing.
Yeah, no, he's doing really well so far. Yeah, tough spot for Jonathan. A lot of outs, a lot of equity. Problem is, are you going to realize that equity if you call? Because Aaron might just shove it in right now.
Jonathan bricks the river.
Well, that's a good thing as well, because he would have made his hand. Aaron might have overplayed his hand a bit as well. So yeah, raising the turn doesn't seem like a good idea.
And Jonathan left with 7 high here, and then wondering if
he wants to win the pot,
wonder if he can shove for 14,000 more and get Aaron Paul to lay down his hand.
Would be a pretty great play. It wouldn't work at all.
Wouldn't work on this occasion.
No, but I mean, it's very nice to see that he is even in like seemingly difficult spots like this, considering to bluff it. I mean, there's a lot of bluff actually that Aaron might have, and that's what he's thinking about. The problem is, of course, that he blocks a lot of bluffs himself with the 6-7 of diamonds, but still. He knew he was not going to win the hand if he did not put in all the money, so he was still considering it.
Almost a 2-1 chip lead here for Aaron Paul. Thanks to all the people who are getting involved in the Twitch chat. Let us know your thoughts on what's unfolding tonight. Also, if you want to use the Twitter at GPL, if you want to tweet at us or use the hashtag GPL, we will see those. We do like to hear your feedback. Really another interesting flop here as well.
Very good flop for Aaron.
The 7 is of course the action card that we us commentators crave.
Oh, that's not a 7. It's not even a straight, but definitely a card that Aaron will feel relatively strong on. I was gonna say on a big size bet, Jonathan is probably gonna fold now, and with this size, I don't know, it's probably close. Boom.
There we go.
Turns his draw into a bluff.
Don't
Which
think
is probably not a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to work this
Not
time.
going to work, but...
But I mean, he knows that he's not going to win very
Oh,
often.
there it is.
Wow. Oh, my.
We crave... Oh, there, he's just going to shove and...
Aaron is going to pay this off, I think. I mean, there's straights.
I mean, we've got the 4, 5, 6, 7 out there. And
Yeah,
the
there's
really impressive
straights.
Aaron Poole was to get away from it.
There are straights possible, but I mean, still, Aaron will like his set probably that much.
And he's going to make the call.
Good bet by Jonathan.
Finally, finally a bit of respite for Jonathan Jaffe. Things really been going against him. And yeah, a little smile there from...
Yeah, the match is definitely back open. Well, this game. This was almost sweeping time.
Yeah, well,
almost
the
3-0.
broom was out the cupboard.
Oh.
I was dusting off the bristles. I don't want to get any... I want to spray any dust over the commentary booth. But
Boom, there you go. Aaron is going to win some chips back here. That's what we call a straight.
That is cool. That's what we call the
Tree.
nuts. I know
T-R-I-Q, tree.
what you call it in the Netherlands.
Dangerous card for Jonathan. Straat.
What's your word for the nuts?
No, we use the English term.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's boring. Yeah, big bet, but Aaron is not going to fold this straight. He might actually raise. And
I think he might just shove this.
yeah, shove, raise small, raise big.
Really horrible.
Everything is possible.
Horrible spot.
He
for,
can even call. You never know. I don't think he will only call.
Horrible spot for Jonathan once Aaron does.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay,
Ooh,
goes
for this
for the,
sizing, he on the other hand, he does really not beat anything but a bluff. So yeah, hopefully he can talk us a bit into what he's thinking now. Yeah, his arm movements say enough.
Really, just Jack Queen I'm worried about here. I definitely think it's possible.
Jonathan is not happy. Puzzled, but that's poker.
Tough spot.
Really tough one. He still has a lot of chips left. If he makes the call and he's wrong, that's not the argument. It's
See if
just
I'll talk it.
is he chatting with Aaron?
I think
Paul
he's
now?
trying to. There is a player-to-player chat function
Is
here.
there?
So yeah, he's,
Wow.
he is probably trying to.
Aaron, what are you doing
trying
there?
to get some.
You're bluffing me again.
Tiny bit of something out of Aaron Paul.
Ah, that's funny. That's cool. I actually have a book at home on verbal poker tells. So if Aaron will try to,
What you got, yo?
you can give away a lot by talking, like for sure.
He's looking for intervention elsewhere now.
Top left corner, divine intervention.
He's looking up to the I don't know, the window or something. Really fun match here.
This is
My other thought is that this is like ace-4 of spades.
Boom!
And he
Straight. Wow. Some big hands here. Again, we can't blame him. We've seen some random aggression from Aaron, so yeah.
Aaron kicking it off with the Anthony Zinno memorial hand.
10-4 is not going to be a hand that Jonathan is going to get his revenge with. I hope. Yeah, difficult decision there. You don't get trips every day.
Yeah, pretty tough to fold 3 10s in heads up against Aaron, who's like bluffed a bunch of rivers.
Yeah, and sizing-wise, you can't say too much from Aaron's sizing as well. He uses he uses a lot of different sizings. Like sometimes he goes very strong when he's weak. Very small when he's weak. Sometimes he goes very small when he's strong with the aces. It's hard to read into that.
Aaron defending the 7-3 off here, and found another flop where he just makes the best hand anyway. But these are the flops where Aaron Paul's been actually taking down, just picking up a lot of small pots where they've both missed. And Jonathan, just often ending up with the kind of bottom of his range.
He finds a way. He finds a way to rake in the chips. That's a good hand, but 10-5. Come on, Aaron. Bluff it once. 3-bet, 4-bet. Get it in. No.
I think he's going to get away from this.
No.
The 10-5's too junky.
Jonathan. Is this gonna tilt him?
Jonathan.
Is this the moment he breaks?
31 big blind. Yeah, no, he's been fairly composed.
Will he be breaking bad?
Hurricane is starting.
8-4 off.
He's been taking the punches so far.
Yeah, Jonathan definitely getting a bad break here. Gut shot for Jonathan. And another lead, an interesting lead here. Wow.
Pretty nice
wow.
action turn.
There it is. Boom, 7 on the turn. Why not? And Aaron is probably going to keep firing at least once because he thinks like, yeah, Queen High is not going to win unless I get a fold. So
yeah, and Aaron's also had a lot of success in bluffing at kind of wet boards.
Yeah, his vision might be a bit blurred because his aggressive moves were successful so far. Will he fire the river again? That's the question. This is not a bet size I like too much from Aaron because he led the flop, so Jonathan is improving actually a lot on this turn. Yeah. Or he already has the ace, and then he still will call this bet size as well.
And more frustration there for Jonathan Jaffe because I think when he raises that turn saying, please have an ace, please have an ace, please have an ace.
Yeah, I mean, he felt strong because of the small size Aaron used. If Aaron would have bet pot there, he probably includes a lot of flushes in his range, so that's why he was raising now and would not raise against a bigger bet size probably.
Interesting check back from Aaron Poole here after flopping top pair, top kicker.
I can definitely see it. I do it sometimes. This is definitely a hand you can put in your check range because you have the ace of hearts already yourself, so you're not afraid for anything. You're not afraid of a heart, you're not afraid of the ace. So.
And it's a check back that might actually get him some value on this river here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
small sizings and gets the snap call from...
Pair of queens is a pair of queens. Jonathan down to 30 bigs. 30 big blinds.
And Jonathan flops best here. Sort of almost certainly see some sort of action card on the turn the way this
the hand ain't
match
over.
Has been, yeah. Queen of clubs, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, maybe the hand is over. But with Aaron, you never know. He might find a creative way to win this pot. There you go, 4 clubs. Is that something? Probably not. I better know.
I mean, you're...
Normally, I try to stay away from betting
4
too
clubs.
many chips on only 4 clubs. Well, as a bluff, it's fine, but yeah.
Yeah, Aaron getting away unscathed every time Jonathan does manage to pick up a hand.
Yeah, he seems to be escaping. He seems to be lucky with the setup so far, which is good for him. He will feel so strong if he beats another world-class professional.
Well,
like
I mean, this is the
crushes him.
This is the the only time. This is the second time we've seen Aaron Poole in the GPL. But I feel like he might get the wind in his sails.
Oh, he will definitely.
He'll be like Randy Lou playing every heads-up match for his team.
Oh, this is a 4x ISO with a very crappy hand from Jonathan. And Aaron...
Double gut shot.
Aaron has chips now. He has 2 points already and he has chips. He just like, I'm not going anywhere.
Oh,
double
points.
gutter.
He's got chips. He's got the double gut shot. A really nice disguised hand as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, how can you put someone on a straight? This is the only hand that you can have then. And then, yeah, is he really going to call a 4x ISO? Your hand is disguised here if you make it. Aaron, do you read the small bet size as being weak, or are you just going to take the good price?
And, well, Jonathan Jaffe gets the river without a pair, so it's good after 2.
Yeah, but he raised like 4x after Aaron's limp.
Too often if he does have a 7. Make this a profitable bluff.
Do it, Aaron.
Aaron Poole knows he has to...
5 high, you're going to win the pot if you bet.
Got to bet.
Otherwise,
the second
you're not
low.
going to win. I think he's going to do it. His bluffs were successful as well, so he just put it like a random amount.
Half pot,
pot's
for
fine,
the
and he
half
wins.
pot.
All he has to do.
Rebluff, but having a 5 in my hand really hurts that.
Yeah, Jonathan has the blocker for
There's
the
really
hand
only 5-4.
that Aaron actually has.
He's suited. Yeah, I don't see much bluffing here outside of 5-4 diamonds.
If only he knew.
Give it up.
If only he knew. He's gonna see it in the stream. Another nice bluff from Aaron there. Well executed.
Really nice bluff there from Aaron Paul. Not the first time we've seen him
No,
have the heart to
he's
go
crushing.
for it on the river.
He just has the balls to put in the bets. Like, that's all you need. And he already has like 2 points. That really helps. You feel confident, you feel strong. You don't have to feel silly if you don't win this game because you already want to. So, yeah. Actually, he seems to be thinking with a raise calling check 10 here, which I think is a bit too light for more than 20 bigs. It's not actually too crazy. And we've seen it in the last couple days. They might start to limp more if the re-stealing game becomes too aggressive. But so far, we haven't seen too many crazy re-steals. So
Some equity.
Aaron Paul, bottom pair. It's finding ways to win the pots. That's what you got to do. Either makes the best hand or he
seems to be very creative in finding those ways. Maybe he can teach me.
I'm going to be getting in touch with his people.
Yeah.
As soon as this show
We
goes
want
off
poker
air.
lessons.
Missing flops. You really don't want to defend these hands, but still got it.
And Aaron Paul picking up some equity on the turn.
I expect fireworks here from one side of the table, and that's the left side. And it works. Jack high, more than good enough because he has the flush draw to go with it.
Have you been in many spots where you're playing a player who you doesn't have the less experience? And you can't find a way to
for
beat him?
sure. Super frustrating it can be. I mean, Jonathan is really keeping his cool. I've definitely played games like that. Like sometimes you get like, especially a couple of years ago. I haven't played many cash games in the last couple of years, but you face an opponent that just keeps putting in so much money, and you know he's bluffing so much, but you have to find some ways to counter his bluff with rebluffs or to pick up hands. And if that doesn't seem to work, then it's really frustrating.
Great turn card here for Jonathan.
Wow.
And I can see a double up here for Jonathan Jaffe because pretty tough for Aaron Paul to get away from this turn top pair.
Interesting to see if Jonathan elects to call here. I think he will because we've seen Aaron Paul
and this
bluff
again.
enough.
This will be a double up for Jonathan Jaffe. Finally manages to kind of get a bit of run good going in this game.
This won't take Aaron too long.
We love
3 of a kind. Let's get the money in.
We got 2 firework cards in a row.
Interesting. I would have expected a shove here more often than not from Aaron, but he will pay off anyway.
And there we go, back to 50-50.
And this is actually like a lot closer than Aaron can ever know, but he is probably not bluffed here very often.
Aaron usually electing to flat his ace high hands.
Yeah, we're a bit deeper again now. We're almost 30 big blinds deep, so yeah. No, we are 30
Aaron
big
Paul
blinds
hasn't been inclined to 3-bet much pre-flop. It's just I think he seems like favors.
Yeah, well, he made a couple of those very small 3-bets, right? Like with aces, but also with like queen 5 off. So he mixes it up quite nicely. But he's been a bit more passive recently, yeah. Maybe now they can 3-bet again. Ace 8, I wouldn't.
It's one of my top 6s to check back on this flop.
Interesting
small.
small.
6 pot from Aaron Paul.
It's like a limit hold'em size bet.
We've seen Jonathan even about these small bets. We've seen him take his time and properly think it through because he knows if somebody like Aaron makes it,
I haven't seen one of these be a bluff yet.
Yeah, it's very often.
That could be.
It feels like a bit of a genius bet because like Jonathan has like one of the exact hands that can pay it off.
Yeah, but it is very often something like that, like a 3 or a 5 or a decent ace high that
or just the one better ace.
Yeah, well, we call it like a block bet.
Whoa!
Oh,
Unlucky.
Look at these hands.
Unlucky Jonathan Jaffe.
Well,
these guys.
It's poker, but he needs to check here.
I mean, unlucky.
Or a straight. Or a flush. No, suits are covered. No flush possible. This is a nasty setup.
We haven't really seen too many of these huge setups, and
They're clicking it back, these boys.
Really
this
no
looks like
option left.
really
He goes
strong.
18.
This is funny.
Just too much in the pot to not go for the takedown and shove. Pocket kings, pocket aces.
Yep.
I'm flatting here all day. Jacks are just a little too vulnerable. A little bit.
Yep. Pocket kings, you would flat. But
Jaffe.
it's hard to have those when your opponent
I
has them.
feel like
We're about to see all
some
5 cards, I think.
folds and bluffs here a fair chunk of the time.
Jonathan taking his time here. I would have shoved a couple seconds ago.
Aaron Paul.
Yeah, he's taking a lead.
You know,
Doing a happy dance.
Just figuring things out. Maybe
Is this a slow roll?
Has he got aces?
Is he just trying to needle Jonathan here? I mean, Jonathan knows he's not going to get folds here very often.
Makes
Boom!
the call. And there it is.
Oh!
Like that.
Jonathan.
Oh!
Whoa!
The jack! The
Jonathan's
jack hits
face.
the flop.
There we go.
Oh, wow. The broom was almost out.
The second suck
The
out
broom was in my hand.
Aaron gets
And
against him.
Aaron Paul just needs a... Okay, no king. No, wow.
Definitely chance corner if they told him to do that.
Wow. Aaron Paul, almost...
Jonathan knows he's been slow rolled, and he suspects that Aaron's teammates told him to do so, who are friends from Jonathan, of course. But it's always fun to slow roll your friends. So yeah,
That's pretty funny.
yeah. Aaron gets
Kudos to him for the slow roll. Love it.
Aaron gets some poker etiquette
Also
here.
love hitting a jack.
Karma. That's how we call it. You slow roll, you get the suck out
Interesting,
again.
Aaron Paul electing to lay down the suited jack with
yeah.
7 big blinds. He's not going to probably not going to lay down the queen 10, and I mean he's going to be a 65% favorite to sort of get back into this. As the deuce for Jonathan Jaffe.
We're in trouble. Well, he already has 2
looking
points. So.
pretty strong for Jonathan to pull one back here. There it is.
Wow.
All right.
He
Pretty
makes-
bad when I've got a smile on my face after getting 2-1. But definitely lucky down the stretch. Played very well.
Good game for
Kicked
both.
my
Again,
ass.
Jonathan. Oh, we had the broom out. Oh. God, I love
So
that
long.
broom.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No sweep.
Really
fun game.
Really fun game there.
Cool.
Incredible.
Deserved winner?
Yes, I mean,
think so.
in a sense, he deserved.
He's been sucked down on twice and
Yeah, he
still
deserved,
manages to win the whole match. So,
you could say deserved the sweep.
yeah.
Anyway, really fun game there. And I think that's kind of one of the most unusual games we've seen in the GPL. You don't know how the amateur, is going to play.
Yeah. I mean, you can hardly call him an amateur. Of course, he's
No,
not a professional
yeah.
poker player, but he's doing really well. Like, he's not like, if I think of an amateur as more like the passive
Yeah, a bit
old
on the
guy,
tighter
that's
side.
like,
Bit on the tighter side.
but I mean, poker is changing. Poker is
Poker's
changing. Like, in a couple of years, it's actually fun to think of now. The new amateurs will be like the guys who were like top professionals 5 years ago. They couldn't make it. Like, some of the amateurs
Yeah.
will just sit there. Like, maybe me. Like, in 15 years,
Never,
you know what I'll
never.
be doing. Maybe I'm still
Never.
playing professional poker.
You'll be up
maybe
at the top of that. You'll be up at the top of that Dutch all-time money list.
probably. It's very likely, actually.
I mean,
It's not that hard. 12, 13 places.
you know about the GPL commentator Run Good, right?
Of course. That's
Yeah,
why I'm here.
that's
What do you
coming-
think I'm doing?
It's coming your way. EPT Malta coming up next.
I won't play the EPT actually because I'll be in America
You'll be following
to reel my
Kenny
buddy
Haller.
Kenny. Team Kenny.
Well,
We're gonna
yeah,
do it.
EPT Prague, I guess.
Yeah, not a IPT.
IPT Malta.
I'll win the IPT Malta here. I want to win a tournament here on my own island.
Yeah,
Would
that'd
be
feel
very
good.
nice.
Well, anyway, that was 6 points to the LA Sunset.
Where does it bring him?
So yeah,
the league?
they're up to 173 points now. They are kind of breathing down the necks of the Montreal Nationals. And talking of the Montreal Nationals, we got later on tonight. We have that top versus bottom clash of Pascal Lefrancois against Anthony Zinno. Anthony Zinno has been a sort of topic of conversation in the at the GPL this week after
Yeah,
that.
they
sort of
need chips.
Interesting.
I mean, the moneymakers are the topic of the conversation because they want the points. They are on the bottom. So and then when you keep failing to get chips points, that's not nice.
So just a reminder: top four teams in each conference off to the conference the playoffs in the cube. And as we see here, here's the format for the playoffs. We've got the 3 days of cross conference. Well,
Yeah, so explain to me. Like, they get a bonus in the first round,
Yeah.
but how does it work to get the bonus in the second round?
the bonus is repeated in the second round. So the team that proceed to the second round, or what we would call the semi-finals, will be playing again with the same bonus that they started with in the what we're going to call the quarterfinals.
Okay.
And then as when we proceed to the final, all
Regardless
stacks
if
will be, both teams will be starting
Yeah.
with a 500k. So yeah, bonuses are carried forward from the first playoff match to the second one, but bonuses are non-existent in the final. So yeah, just trying to reward the teams who've put in the most kind of consistent performances during the kind of regular season. Just a reminder, these teams are playing for a $100,000 prize to the winning franchise. Currently, Montreal Nationals in a prime position to enter the cube with that 30% or 40% chip bonus. We are going to go to a loser's interview, a runners-up interview with Jonathan.
Points.
Yeah, he got some points. Yeah. Runners-up interview taking place with Laura Cornelius. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Roland and Stephen there. Congratulations to Team LA Sunset. Aaron Paul doing incredibly well, taking 6 points there for Maria Ho's side. We hopefully should have Jonathan Jaffe on the line. Oh, you just melt me. Look at that little face.
I'm trying to distract you from the thrashing I just said.
Well, yeah, you just got thrashed. There you go. I said it.
I can't get away from it, though, because by the smell of it, my son may have taken a bigger shit on me than Jesse Pinkman.
Oh, no, you got thrashed and now you've got to clean up some poop too. What are we going to do?
Yeah, it might be someone else's job.
Talk us through that match, though. How difficult was that to play someone that you know isn't a professional poker player, you know, by day?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to prep yourself for the idea that winning is expected and losing is a disappointment. So it can be really tough, you know, when you do lose. You know, it sucks.
How much research did you watch his game with Fabrice Soulier? How much did you know about his game? Anything at all?
Yeah, I watched like maybe 30 hands, some Fabrice through Soulier, and then, you know, I figured, had a pretty good idea that he liked to lead a lot of different flops, which he did today. But he mixes it up well, and the most important thing that he does is he bluffs plenty. Not enough amateurs bluff nearly enough, and yeah, he plays pretty fearless, which is important. Definitely has the good building blocks to play a really good game.
Did you think that you were going to win that, like, honestly? Did you think you were going to win it quite easily?
I definitely thought it would be my easiest match of the year, and I would say winning 2-1 or better, I probably put it about 75-80%.
And were you quite impressed, actually, by how he played? You watched it back, I imagine, 10 minutes later?
I've seen some of the hands. Some of them I was impressed with. Others, you know, I don't want to be a complainer, but I definitely ran well, too, and sucked out on him. I'm most impressed by his slow roll. I love that. I think that was a chance corneth insertion in his game, which may not have paid off today, but long-term, slow rolling will always pay dividends.
Well, I'm glad you got the 3 points in the end for the San Francisco Rush. Better than nothing.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
Good.
Come on. I want everyone to get points here.
You can't not love Faraz.
Although, you know, you've got me so many times.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, your true feelings.
It's all right. I forgive you because you've got to go and clean up baby poop now.
That's true.
Aww. Bye.
Bye.
Maybe we could get him to play Aaron Paul next time. He might win.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jonathan. Chat soon. Oh, I got cut off there, didn't I? That was a bit of a needle from me. But Jonathan Jaffe there, who took on Aaron Paul, LA Sunset, managing to take the 6 points there. San Francisco taking the 3 points. Let's take a look at how that affects the standings. Here it is. Nothing actually changes. It stays as it is. LA Sunset now with 173 points. They are encroaching on that first place where the Montreal Nationals lie, 178 points. So just a few points behind. So Montreal Nationals really need to pick up some points in their game. Pascal Lafrancois will be playing. That's the third and final game of the evening. The Sao Paulo Mets still remain in third. New York Rounders in fourth. The San Francisco Rush, only 2 points separating the Rounders and the Rush now after Jonathan just scored those 3 points. The Las Vegas Moneymakers with 105 points in the bottom of the table. Anthony Zino will apparently be back for them versus Pascal Lefrancois. So we will be seeing that one. During the break, we have a bit of a pop quiz, so do not go anywhere. We're going to be back here at the GPL for the second game of the evening. This is what it looks like. Jason Wheeler, one of the bad boys of poker for the New York Rounders, is going to be facing Joao Bauer. Now, Jason Wheeler played pretty aggressive in the Cube in Las Vegas. One of his matches was done in one hand. So we will see if we see that fearless aggressive style coming back to face the Sao Paulo Metropolitan. That game's kicking off shortly within the next hour. Don't go anywhere though. We have a pop quiz. So get going and good luck. We'll see you back here very soon.